If anyone's wanting to know how to get revenge on someone who spread rumors about you, listen to this story and it may come in handy. So I had a friend that we can call Miranda who was obsessed with me. I was genuinely friends with her, but she would never give me a break. I could not get a breather from her at any point in time. Everywhere I went, she went. And Miss Girl would actually get so upset with me anytime I would go over to another friend's house. I knew she was really insecure and just trying to get attention, so I tried to be patient with her. However, one day I just could not take it anymore. I got into a massive fight with her over how overprotective she is. I literally said, "You are a stage 5 clinger." And in response, this girl ended up joining my basketball and softball team, which I've been on for forever. She told her mom that I was bullying her, which was a complete lie, but then her mom went to the coaches. She got me kicked off the team and then continued to spread rumors about me. I ended up losing my best friends and even my boyfriend over the rumors that she spread about me. So that's when I decided to get revenge. So I decided that I was going to send her over an apology gift with makeup in it, which was a mix of drugstore items and poison ivy. So I got revenge on my obsessive best friend for spreading rumors about me. So I put together an apology gift for her for bullying her, even though I did not. The gift that I put together was some makeup I got from Walgreens, but I just decided to add some poison ivy to the eyeshadow so that she would get a rash. I then set up a hidden camera and watched as she put it on. And as expected, the rash started to form. After she noticed, I started to tell her off and accuse her of all the stuff she did to me, and she was so pissed that I managed to get a confession out of her. She was very much just like, "Yeah, I did that." Literally over me not wanting to spend every waking second with her. And the best part of it is that she threatened me on camera. So I cut out the part about the poison makeup and told her if she didn't tell my friends, coaches, and significant other what she was doing, I would send the video to everyone. So she admitted to all of her crimes and I got back on the team. I got my friends back and my boyfriend apologized. I ended up totally fine and she ended up losing credibility with basically everyone. If any of you guys have a story you'd like me to share on my TikTok, follow my Instagram and I'll show you how. The weirdest thing that ever happened to my family is my sister finding out she was dating our long lost brother. You're probably asking, how did this happen? So when my sister was about 1, my mom was pregnant with another baby. She ended up birthing my brother, but me being 1 year old really didn't understand. Like, you really can't comprehend that you have a brother at that age. And fairly soon after this, my parents ended up getting a divorce. So my dad was originally from Germany and he decided to move back. Well, because you can't really do weekend visitations in Germany, my parents made the executive decision to split up the kids. My mom kept us and my dad got my brother. And we honestly didn't care. We didn't really know what was going on at that age. And after that, we didn't have any more contact. So fast forward 20 years later, my mom and my sister aren't really talking because of a whole separate situation. And she was going to our town's community college and met a boy. We can call him John. Well, John asked her out on a date and they ended up dating for 5 more years. Over the years, she learned stuff like his dad was from Germany, his dad passed away, and he didn't really have any contact with his mom. Storytime part 2 on how my sister ended up accidentally dating my brother. So over the course of dating John for about 5 years, she picked up a lot of information about his life. Essentially, he said that he came back to his birth home to go to community college here after his dad passed away. In Germany. His dad never said anything about his mom, so he never knew name or any info. While this seemed kind of similar to our brother's story, she just wasn't thinking about it. It happened when she was so young that it just didn't really cross her mind. And my mom and her were not on speaking terms, so it's not like my mom could just recognize him. Anyways, since they were dating for so long, he ended up proposing to her. She was so excited and ended up bringing him over to our grandma's to spread the news. When they walked in, my grandma made the weirdest face. She asked what his name was and then broke down into tears when he said John. She was like, "Oh my God, that is your long lost brother." And the only reason she knew it is because my dad had contact with her before he passed away. They were obviously very disgusted because they were engaged and had done the nasty. We now have family reunions now that my mom and her are on better terms, but it's still weird.
Story of the time these creepy old men would not leave me and my friend alone at the club. So I went to this club with my friend, and this particular night, there wasn't that many people there. But you already know, even though the club wasn't poppin', doesn't mean that we weren't. So we obviously looked super cute, you know, had to pop out. And the second we got there, a bunch of guys were trying to buy us drinks. And like, I don't know about y'all, but definitely not turning down a free drink. I mean, unless it's like handed to me by some creepy stranger, not actually at the bar, then like, yeah, no, definitely don't ever do that. But given to me straight by the bartender, of course, I'll take that free drink. Absolutely. So these 2 old men start talking to me and my friend, and they start getting us drinks. And being the professional finessers that we are, we dipped straight to the dance floor after we got our drinks. So we're just vibing, having a great time, dancing some bachata even though we don't know how. And all of a sudden, I feel somebody grab the back of my neck. and it was one of the creepy old men trying to talk to me. So I pulled away because, like, don't touch me. What are you doing? And then he tries to wiggle his way in between me and my friend and tries to dance with me. I was like, what are you doing? So I pull my friend away, try to run away. And he was like, what, you're not gonna dance with me after I bought you all these drinks? And I was like, I'm sorry, did you pay off my school loan? Like, I don't think I owe you anything, sir. And then this security guard gets involved. Story at the time I dated somebody with a fetish. And no, I'm not talking about a foot fetish. I'm not talking about a furry fetish. I'm not talking about financial domination. No, I'm talking about a cheating fetish. So I was dating this guy and I was absolutely madly in love with him. And for this reason and this reason only, I allowed him to completely control my life without even realizing it at the time. So I would stay at his house for days on end. Like, he would not let me leave. And I'm not saying like he physically like, you know, held me there, like tied me down, like nothing like that. It's just the fact that every time I would mention that, hey, you know, like I've been here for a couple of days, I kind of want to go home, I miss my family, he would just act different. He'd be like, all right, like whatever, like you don't, like I don't understand, like you can't just shower here, like, oh, now you're gonna go back home and you have other guys like waiting for you over there. And then it got a little out of control. I mean, it was always out of control, but it just kept getting more and more out of control. When I would leave the house to maybe, I don't know, get some food, or like if I wanted to maybe, I mean, I rarely saw my friends, but if maybe I wanted to see a friend or like whatever the case might be, he would have to be on the phone with me, like would instantly call me the second I left to make sure that like I wasn't talking to anybody else, to make sure I wasn't like going to meet up with anybody else, to make sure, you know, like that I was just only able to talk to him, like if that makes sense. Like one time in particular, I went to this store to get food and I was on FaceTime with him because I thought he wanted to talk to me. Like I thought that he just like missed me or something. Like I thought it was cute initially, until I'm about to get out of the car and he's like, wait, why are you going in right now? Like who just walked in? And I was like, what? I just have been sitting in my car for a while. Like, I just want to go in. I'm hungry. And he's like, nah, like somebody definitely like just walked in. Show me like around you. And I was just like, dude, like nobody, like what? Who does that? Like, first of all, like what? And there were many, many, many more examples of him being crazy and controlling, but I'm just gonna leave it with those two so that hopefully it just puts it in a little perspective for you that like he really just wanted to make sure that he had me under control, like complete control. Now I started realizing that he was cheating on me when he had hickeys and scratches and he just smelled like perfume and he was always turning off his location, being sketchy. You know, there was a lot of different things that proved that he was cheating, you know, but it got really out of hand when he started hanging out with the girl and calling me while he was with her. So he started having this obsession with Taco Bell all of a sudden, and one day he FaceTimes me and he was acting so smug. He was like, baby, I love you so much, and like, just so you know, I would never cheat on you. Not that you asked me, but like, you know, just so you know. And I'm like, okay, who are you with? And he's like, I'm not with anybody, baby. Like, I would never have anybody else in my car other than and then you. He puts his hand over the camera and he starts going, oh my, this sandwich is so good. Oh my god, hold on, give me a second. Oh my god, amazing. And obviously he wasn't eating a sandwich, but more likely another girl's face. But then what really just pushed it over the edge is that he had bought 2 sandwiches and he goes to me, yeah, Mia, I actually bought 1 sandwich and I have it right here, right in front of my face, and I have another sandwich waiting for me in the back. And that sandwich in the back is just gonna hit so different. I already know it's gonna be so good. He was literally looking in the rearview mirror. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's how I know it's a fetish, because he was purely enjoying just knowing, or at least thinking, that he knew something that I didn't. Like, obviously I knew. I'm not an idiot. I'm not stupid. I have the full story time on my YouTube channel, so go check it out if you want to hear the whole entire thing. Bye. Story of the time I lost my little sister at the boardwalk. So this past summer, me and my sister went to the boardwalk a lot, like just the 2 of us. We would walk around, we would try to find like a little boyfriend for her, whatever. I'm just kidding. Like, I was trying to find a boyfriend for her because like she was depressed over some loser from school that like played her and stuff. So I was like, you know what, you need to find a new boy to talk to. Like, come on. Like, she doesn't need a boy, don't get me wrong. Now I'm about to go into a rant how she doesn't need no man and she's an independent woman, but like, well, independent 14-year-old girl, she's not a woman, but you know. So anyway, we've already walked up and down the boardwalk a few times. We got food, we got ice cream, you know, we were there for a minute already. And every so often we would walk past this boy that she thought was really cute. I was like, come on, just go up to him, you know, be bold, ask him for his Snapchat or whatever. What's the worst that could happen? He says no, and then you walk away depressed and we go get more ice cream. Like, well, she didn't want to do that. And oh, before I forget to mention, I don't know if you guys seen my story time about the creepy old man from the mall that I used to work at that would just sit there all day and just stare at children. So, guess who was at the boardwalk that day? Yeah, him, creepy dude. So I literally, the whole time, I'm like, Naomi, you need to be next to me, attached to my hip, because this man is here today. What is he? He has no business being at a boardwalk by himself full of children. Like, what is he doing? But anyway, so she's like, can you ask him, the guy that's cute, because I'm too nervous. And I'm like, okay, you know what, that's fine. So she gives me her phone. She's like, tell him to put his snap in my phone if he says yes. And I'm like, okay, you stay at this store. Because the kid was sitting on a bench right next to this store. So I'm like, you stay at this store, right? And she's like, okay. So I go up to the kid. I'm like, hey, this is my cousin. I show him a picture. I'm like, she thinks you're really cute. She was wondering if she can get your Snapchat. And he was like, yeah, of course. Like, she's really pretty. And I was like, perfect. So put your snap in her phone. So he does. And I turn around to go celebrate the good news with her. And poof, she's gone. Vanished. Goodbye. Where did she go? Beats me. And I'm literally standing here like, I have her phone right now. There is a creepy schmuck walking around this boardwalk just looking to kidnap a kid. By the way, this is her. This right here, this is her. This is her little Harry Houdini vanish poof in midair looking self. So anyway, I asked this guy from the games thing to start announcing her name because I'm like, okay, I don't care. He had a microphone, maybe she'll hear it. And then her little self comes out of bush, all giggly, smiley, happy, like I wasn't about to call the SWAT team on her.